everyone, and welcome. My name is Mary Rawlings, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Bring Justice to Your Legal Battles with Chatbots. We really appreciate you taking some time to spend with us today. So first off, just a little bit about who we are and what we do. We are IMPIGER Technologies. We've been in business for 15 years. We develop custom IT services. We've also built over 500 mobile and web applications and implement the latest technologies such as RPA and AI, including our new bot making platform, Bluefish. If you have any questions or would like to learn more about our company, feel free to reach out. I would be happy to assist. Our speaker today is Travis McCollum, IMPIGER's Chatbot Solution Consultant. And if you have any questions during the webinar, please feel free to type them in the Q&A panel in WebEx. We'll be answering questions at the end of the presentation. So without further ado, here is Travis.
Thanks, Mary. Hey, good morning or good afternoon, everybody. Hope you are doing well. So today we're going to be talking about a couple of things. We're going to be looking at lawyers and the legal system and how chatbots fit into the equation. So this is just a quick look at the agenda, but let's just dive right in. So whenever you decide to become a lawyer, there are a couple of reasons why. Maybe there was something in the justice system that you wanted to change, and you have these big aspirations. And we know that lawyers don't get the best rap in the world. However, here in this picture, we've got a picture of Atticus Finch from To Kill a Mockingbird. And for a lot of lawyers, he was a great role model about really pushing out social change and getting in those courtrooms and really fighting for their clients. And this is kind of like that aspiration that every lawyer looks forward to. But very few lawyers ever get the opportunity to spend time in court, following that dream of, fighting the good fight. And there's so many things that bog them down. And looking at the time-sucking activities, being overwhelmed with emails, having so many client demands that you're made able to keep up. And the average lawyer works around 70 to 80 hours a week, which is way above the normal that a normal American works. So we know that the lawyers are struggling with their time management right now. And you can see that right now lawyers are working for free with so many other things. On average, there's 75% of time that they're spending at work and not getting paid for it. And it's crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous. So how can we minimize all the noise of that distraction and lower those number of missing hours and find a way to enhance our lives both professionally but also personally, especially with family time? Really, if you're a solo practitioner, you may be writing a brief under a strict deadline to file by the end of the business day when a new potential client calls and you just can't bring yourself to answer that phone. Now, you've got to choose between the certainty of your ethical duty to that client and the theoretical possibility of additional income for retaining a new client with a new case. And if you worked in a law firm, that same problem may be magnified several other times across other associates or partners that are sharing in that responsibility for returning calls. And now we run into this lawyer's dilemma. Each of us only has 24 hours in a day to invest in. So I want to introduce to you a solution out there called Chatbots. And really in its basic essence, a chatbot is a user interface that works through a messaging program, whether that be voice-based or text-based. And it's the intermediary between your law firm, you as the lawyer, and your users, whether those be existing clients or prospective clients that are interested in getting involved. So chatbots impact the lawyer field in many ways. We know that lawyers spend a lot of time on legal research, admin tasks, and winning new businesses. So chatbots match each of those demands in its own unique way. One area is search queries, client support, and appointment scheduling. Now, legal tech, which stands for legal technology, they're already spending about $16 billion in the market to build up technology for legal professions specifically, and that number is growing over time as legal professionals realize the impact that technology has on their bottom line. Now, we know that lawyers are spending hundreds of dollars a month for access to database systems. They're typing in keywords, they're using Boolean connectors, and the process is super clunky. And those results are coming back in the thousands. So you're constantly on the hunt for those passages you need. And oftentimes, you read a whole bunch of cases that are really irrelevant. And those cases can be 40 pages long. And legal aid lawyers are overworked. They're having limited resources and time to help those clients that they're able to take on. And for every one legal aid case a legal aid program takes on, they're having to reject one. So now less than one legal aid lawyer can work for free on any civic aid cases for every 10,000 Americans that need one. Here, no worries. Here we've got an example of just some of the ways that the bot is able to interact with the users on a lawyer's website. You're able to answer those frequently asked questions with different times of availability. You're also able to book appointments, and you're able to answer any kind of question by probing different depth levels down the line. So a really, really great influencer in the legal profession is Jordan Furlong. He's an internationally recognized consultant and legal market and analyst who's forecasting the impact of change in the market conditions for lawyers and law firms. And he really hits home with this quote, which says that there are a lot of positions out there that lawyers are doing that machines can help with. However, machines cannot help with certain things that only lawyers can do. So why would a lawyer spend time doing things that he can offload to a machine to do instead? And this is where chatbots fill in that hole. So what's out there? What kind of technologies does a lawyer have at his disposal? We're going to go through a couple different types of use cases that are already on the market to work with. The first one I want to touch base on is access to justice, which is A to J. And it's what we call the do-it-yourself law that's out there. Basically, there's three principles to it. And the first is promoting accessibility. And consumers, users, are taking the law into their own hands, and they're able to eliminate those barriers that are preventing people from understanding and exercising their rights. And principle number 2 looks at fairness, and it's delivering fair and just outcomes for all the parties, including those facing financial and other disadvantages. And we know that financial woes are a big concern in America right now, as people can't afford the rates that lawyers are charging. I think the average lawyer charges about $350 an hour, and most Americans can't afford that, unfortunately. So different solutions like do not pay have come up. And that final principle, number 3, is about delivering fair and justice outcomes effectively without waste or duplication. So here on the right, we've got an image of do not pay in action, and it's enabling users to be able to sue other companies by looking through different case laws and finding those things that match with what the user wants. And originally it started off with parking tickets, but as it's gained more traction, it's been able to help users obtain green cards and visa and immigration rights. It's searching for different hidden class action settlements that they're owed. It's fighting credit card and overdraft fees, and it's suing tech companies for data breaches. And it's even collecting money from hotel and airline bookings through price protection guarantees. The crazy part about this whole access to justice piece is that it's completely free. All of these chatbots that exist out there, like do not pay, the user doesn't have to pay a dime for. A second piece that we want to touch on is with document assembly. And here we can look at how programs like Robot Lawyer Lisa is able to provide and create non-disclosure agreements, everything from property contract tools in business leases, residential leases, lodger agreements. And really, it's really interesting reading into this, because one of the big concerns when lawyers and bots come in is, can bots provide legal advice? The answer is no in the short word, because legal advice really requires careful analysis of the law and how it applies to a specific situation. So with an example like Legal Robot, which we'll get to in a bit, it's providing information that's generated automatically through an analysis on the legal documents that a user provides in relation to other legal documents on a case law. It does it through linguistic and statistical analysis, but it only looks at the potential issues in an actual legal document. But to really get true legal advice, it will direct people to an attorney down the line. Now we're going into what we call professional searches, and this is where chatbots are able to look through and help lawyers go through all of the different case studies out there and to find whatever their research questions that they need to share. And it's adding in that contextual information that you send the bot to enrich whatever your search results are. So really it breaks it down in a couple steps. You pose the bot with your question of research, and then it's going to retrieve that case or those passages related to your question, and it's going to organize it into a collection of winning authority, ranking it into the best case pieces that work best for you. And it develops that over time. So you may do your initial research, and maybe you're following the case for a time, and the bot's going to keep updated with real-time, real-world cases that are still happening out there. And it's going to update you if there are any changes down the line so that your information that you're pulling from the bot is always accurate and timely, and you're not working off outdated data. And we already mentioned it before, but you can literally upload a legal document to the bot, and it'll give you a comprehensive and hyperlinked list of cases that are related to that, both either negatively or positively. And finally, there's client-facing chatbots, and these are the ones that Bluefish works off of. And this is really about being a personal assistant to you, one that's not on payroll, one that's available 24/7, and is able to interact with multiple people at once. And it performs all those clerical tasks, including answering your telephones, typing up your documents, and even filing records. And you can even connect as a mediator with different barristers out there, pointing users toward free legal resources out there, finding other lawyers, making those appointments, and dealing with all the tasks that a normal human clerk would work with. So I want to talk about the possibility of having a chatbot on your website. And the first place I want to touch base on is with the creation of an onboarding message. And here we've got an example of a chatbot that you can play with on our website right now that kind of runs you through 3 big use cases that I feel are most impactful for lawyers right now. The first one is on FAQs, frequently asked questions, and really into like client support and customer service. Here you can populate your chatbot with any number of possible questions that your users may have. One of the biggest things that we run into is that clients will come to our website and they'll learn about our products or services that we offer, and they'll want to know more. But if it's 2 a.m. in the morning, you're not going to be there to take that call. So a chatbot can be there to answer those questions and to basically offer that instantaneous real-time engagement with the user. And that's a really great example of being able to answer any of those questions that he or she may have. A second point I want to talk about is with lead generation. So people engage with your bot, and once somebody starts talking with a bot, there's a 50% chance that they're going to continue in and provide some contact information so that you can leverage that data down the line to reach out to them in future connects. So this is an opportunity to jump base on that building new business, and it's all passively done. So you don't have to be available actually reaching out for new business by yourself. You can passively put this chatbot on your site, and it'll engage with the users and collect their phone numbers and their emails, and then later you can reach out to them and call them for a follow-up based off of the data and insights that the bot's provided for you. Not only that, but maybe you have an email campaign that you've built up, or you've got another marketing department that you want to run things through. Now you can run this drip campaign and send them messages over time to kind of nurture them into your law services. And they're always going to be on your mind, and that's the real drive for lead generation and collecting their data. And then finally, scheduling appointments is a huge piece as well. Chatbots are able to integrate with your calendar and to find openings for availability where you can literally wake up in the morning and find new client appointments so you can talk with them and fit them. More importantly, the chatbot has the opportunity to pre-screen them and to find out if their specific needs can be addressed by you so that you're getting qualified clients that are going to be able to service on both sides. So why does this matter? Your chatbot really gives you an opportunity to segment and sort through prospective clients. And instead of spending your time carelessly, you're sorting those prospects and clients based on a variety of factors, including their need, urgency, motive, intent, and this is giving your support teams the chance to focus on the work that matters at any given time. Now, what's next out there in the world? I've touched base on a couple of use cases that chatbots are being used in, whether that be through our legal research or even of our FAQ sections, but the landscape of artificial intelligence in the legal industry is very vast and wide, and there's many places where it touches on. And I want you to know that it's constantly growing, and we're going to see more uses over time. We know that AI is helping with things like invention disclosures, docketing, deadlines, filling out applications, valuing your IP portfolio, and even budgeting. So these systems can all be tailor-made and customized to build on your company's specific needs. So in summary, we know that legal is playing catch-up with the industry as a whole. Right now, there's about $16 billion that's being spent on legal tech, but legal services in the market is about $437 billion. So there's a big disparity about how much money is being spent toward technology. But as we know, everything is accelerating vastly fast right now. Just to recap on some of the main benefits that both clients and lawyers are getting from a chatbot. On the client side, you are looking at 24/7 coverage. They are able to share their documents and to get appraisals and different recommendations on how to leverage those documents. You're getting those FAQ questions answered, so you're getting the engagement and they're staying connected. But also, you can automate your e-billing between clients and lawyers through chatbots as well. So it's an easy messaging interface that they can go through your website. One other thing I didn't mention is that chatbots don't just live on your website. They can integrate virtually anywhere there's an API. On the lawyer side, of course, there's a huge dashboard on the back end where you can look at all the analytics of your chatbot's interactions with customers. So you can optimize your chatbot to answer unhandled messages over time and to really make the best user experience for your customers. We talked about research already. You're saving yourself about 20% of your time by having the chatbot dive into all those case courses, and to find the context that you need to win your cases faster and more optimized. And of course, on the marketing side too, with lead generation and collecting contact information on prospects that you can reach out to later. Now, I just want to leave you with one big question. I want to ask yourself, have you ever been too busy, so busy that you wish you could clone yourself? Now, if the answer is yes, I want you to consider chatbots, because they're not only going to be able to offload those very specific tasks that are repetitive and happen over and over and over again, but they're also going to be able to help with a whole bunch of other things like lead generation and just being a good stewardship and brand ambassador to your job. And I love this quote that Michio Kaku said. He said, the job market of the future is going to consist of those jobs that robots cannot perform. And again, just to really drive this home, your job as a lawyer is not being overrun and you're not being overtaken. It's just being supplemented so you can work more efficiently and do the job that you need.
Thank you, Travis. We're going to do some Q&A. Let me see. Here's a question. How long does it take to get a chatbot up and running?
Sure. So it depends on the complexity of the chatbot. If you look at a basic Q&A, it could really take less than a day to get those FAQ questions populated and onto your website. But the more complex it comes when you add in integrations and artificial intelligence components, it really speeds that time up. You can look at 2 weeks to even a month as more and more stakeholders get involved over time.
Thank you. Here's another one. Do I need to know how to program to create a chatbot for my website?
No, you absolutely do not need to be a programmer. And there are a ton of bot-making platforms that are working off of what we call visual scripting. So for instance, our Bluefish.ai bot maker is using what we call decision trees, and it's a lot like a flow map, so it's driving conversations in a very linear pathway. So as long as you understand what your end goal is for your user, you can drive those chatbot conversations to meet that need.
Okay. And we have one more question. Can I have a chatbot live in multiple places?
Absolutely. In addition to your website, you can have chatbots on your social sites as well. We know that social presence is an incredibly important point of contact. And it's not only for you and your users, but for other businesses as well. So when you have your chatbot living on your website and your other chatbot social media channels like Facebook or Twitter, you're enabling your reach to meet with so many other people. And messaging programs as a whole, there's a lot of them that are supporting chatbots right now.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Travis, and thank you everyone for attending today and spending some time with us to talk about chatbots in legal. You will be receiving a copy of this deck and a copy of the recording in your email here either today or tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you so much for your time today, and have a great day.